ver se essa história é boa mesmo. Se vale a pena. Só quero ver, hein? Final do Velho Oeste já, né? Pra ter carro já.
Don't I know you, sir?
Don't believe so. I haven't been here in many years. Name's Silas Greaves.
Silas Greaves? The bounty hunter?
Used to be.
Ah, what are you doing here in Abilene?
Just passing through. Got a little business to take care of.
Well, sir, it would be an honor if you would allow me to buy you a beer.
Hell, son, it would be my honor to drink it.
I'm Molly. Howdy.
I'm Dwight. That's Jack and Steve. Ben's behind the bar. Oh, I bet you got some great stories.
A couple.
Any of them true?
Jack, be nice.
Calma aí.
A few.
What about your shootout with Henry Plummer's gang in Bannock, Montana? Is that where you started as a bounty hunter?
Você.
That's what it says in this here dime novel.
Don't believe everything you read in them dime novels, boy. First man I hunted was back when I was riding with Billy the Kid.
You knew Billy the Kid?
Damn right. That scrawny son of a bitch had no fear. Wouldn't back down for nobody.
I heard he collected the 10 stars off any crooked lawmen who crossed him.
It was a war, boy. The Lincoln County War. And Billy promised his regulators would take the life of every bastard who helped bushwhack John Tunstall.
Kid had a big chip on his shoulder and a hair-trigger temper. Made him dangerous as hell.
Se desligar o chat do Restring, galera, se estiverem falando, eu não vou estar lendo. Então, dá um segundex, assim que terminar de download aqui, eu vou ver o que vai rolar. Dinamite está chegando no ar. Você segurar pontos e ainda pode causar dano adicional aos inimigos. Ó, enter pra jogar, vamos ver. Ah, já ligo o Restring, galera, relaxa.
It was about 30 years ago. Billy was hiding out in an abandoned farm near Stinking Springs. I threw in with the kid because the man I had sworn vengeance on was riding with Billy's enemies. But before I tell you why I want that sumbitch dead, let me tell you what happened that day. I was heading back to the hideout when suddenly I had this funny feeling.
Funny, ha-ha?
No, Steve. The other kind of funny.
Vou dar um alt tab aqui rapidão, galera. Só pra ligar o Restring aqui, o Restring chat. Vixe, moço, ainda vai atualizar. Tá, já atualizou já. 30 MB baixado instantaneamente. Só um minutinho, galera. Beleza, conectou em tudo, bora continuar. Sentindo a sensibilidade muito alta, mano, de cara já. Mais pouquinho.
That's not fair. We're missing all the fun.
I knew those two morons would never let me through. I had no choice.
Who's that? Is he with us?
Aí, Fifi, que é só tiro na cabeça. Vacilou, toma 2 tiros. Aqui é matador.
Was it Pat Garrett's posse?
Oh, yeah. I heard the shots and I knew I had to move fast. Garrett and his army of deputies had surrounded the entire homestead.
Fire at will! They're coming from the rear!
I decided to help Billy and the boys out a bit. So that's just what I did. As the governor of New Mexico was paying for the kid's apprehension, Garrett was able to hire every gun hand in Lincoln County.
Nossa, foi na cabeça, certeza. Aperte U para abrir as habilidades do menu, vamos ver. Pistoleiro, malfeitor com uma arma em cada mão, caçador luta corpo a corpo, atirador franco, atirador a longa distância. E aí? Vamos descer aqui, vamos ver. Beleza.
Garrett's men were running around like a bunch of chickens with their heads cut off.
Tá, já vi que não dá pra... Ah, como assim ele tá nessa partida? Eu também não entendi. Que parada é essa, mano? Vacilou, tomou na cabeça. Olha só, velho. Filho da mãe, ele tá botando só uma... Opa.
Still, one of them reached the water tower. Not a bad idea. It would be a turkey shoot from up there.
Você me tirou também, né? Vai em câmera lenta. Calma aí, galera. Eu preciso avisar no Facebook que eu tô fazendo live. Tinha esquecido, galera. Calma, rapidão. Rapidesk. Só um segundinho. Ei, você é o gatinho querido. Você é o gatinho bonitinho. Você é o gatinho que tá agora aqui junto com o papai. Opa. Esqueci de fechar o navegador. Calma aí, galera. Diminuir o serviço da CPU, que a CPU tá no limitex. Bora.
Luckily, these shooters Garrett hired weren't the sharpest tools in the shed. A lot of them were saddle tramps or sod busters or drunken drifters looking to make a few bucks.
Cara, não gosto mais de agachar. Cara, não. Cara, não tem como trocar a mapeamento de teclas, beleza. Eu não quero agachar no ponto, eu quero agachar no C. Por favor. Vamos lá.
Can't hide forever.
Then, I heard a friendly voice yelling at me from the window. Back door! We'll cover you!
Try aiming. You watch your flank.
Truth be told, things weren't much better behind the house. I cut their numbers in half, but that just made the ones that were left twice as mad.
Nossa, não fez tipo. Me respeita que aqui é atirador, rapaz.
They made up for their lack of skill with a seemingly endless supply of
Eu tô
ammo.
me sentindo falta de habilidade.
It was a bit of a slog, but I finally fought my way around the back of the house.
Ah, eu quero mais munição, me dá munição aí, galera. Já me dando munição.
And like that, I was inside, none the worse for wear. I passed dirty days.
Rat in a trap.
And upstairs, I found Billy and Charlie Bolden.
Hey, you like that?
Billy looked at me and said, "About time, amigo. Grab a gun and get to the window."
Wait, so you were friends with Billy the Kid?
Yeah, sort of. Anyway, we were surrounded by dozens of deputized shooters who wanted to do us harm. I'm telling you, Garrett's men were dropping like flies, but they just kept on coming. That's when Charlie got hit. "They're catching us in a crossfire," shouted Billy. "Get to the other side."
Só posso ser vezes, não é possível.
I don't know how many of those cocksuckers I personally put down, but it was pretty clear, even to Billy, that maybe discretion was the better part of valor.
What's that mean?
It means that it was time to cut and run. They got a Gatlin, Billy shouted. Get the horses and bring them round back. I'll draw their attention. He directed that order at me, and I thought, why the hell do I have to do it?
Those poor sons of bitches are done.
Many would have fled in my place. But I had that false sense of invincibility that many young men have. Like Jack.
What are you saying, old man?
Jack, he's just joshing with you.
Yeah, he better be.
Mr. Greaves, please continue.
Ué, aperta. Ah, tem mais ponto aqui. O rifle, se fosse que eu quero dicas.
Please, call me Silas, ma'am. Now, where was I?
You were heading for the barn.
Cut you a new one.
Right. Making my way past a passel of fallen foes.
Cut him down.
Sounds like Garrett hired a whole regiment of hired guns.
Agora eu vou morrer.
Yeah, and just when I thought I was done with them, more of these hapless bastards would pop up. Finally, I had the stables within my reach. And that's when I met Sheriff Pat Garrett.
I read that you went toe-to-toe with him, sir. That backstabbing bastard with that tacked-on tin star.
Tá desajeitado. Tá certo.
You challenged him to a showdown.
You read that in a dime novel?
It said he showed no fear as he took your measure with eyes like a rattlesnake.
Você. Mantenha o foco no seu inimigo, usando espaço. Mantenha seu inimigo na área de foco usando espaço. O oponente estender a mão para pegar a arma, aperte para sacar a arma e mire o mouse e atire. Mano, a parada é muito... Morri, velho, faleci, vamos de novo, vai. Mecânica nova é assim mesmo. De novo! Nossa, mano. Mano, fica muito ruim de mexer atrás, parece que tá... Parece que tem uma coisa segurando o mouse, porra. Aí dificulta minha vida, vai. Vai lá pra trás e vai lá pra frente. Vai pra trás. Caraca. Ô, velho, esse troço aqui é complicado, mano. Meu Deus do céu. Eu ainda tenho que mirar. Depois de manter o foco é só pra te dar mais tempo pra tirar. Ah, puta, eu tenho que atirar na mão dele. Não pode atirar na cabeça dele, porque ele consegue dar tiro em mim. Fica atento à mão do seu inimigo. Se eu tivesse dado tiro na mão dele, eu tinha ficado vivo. Tinha que dar tiro na mão dele. Bora, bora, vai tirando, a gente vai conseguir, calma. Calma, o TP vai de 0,3, tô no limite do meu tempo de reação já.
And that you killed him in a fair fight.
Is that what that Penny Dreadful said? No, boy. That ain't what I meant when I said I met Pat Garrett. So let me start again. I finally reached those damn stables. And stepped inside, and
Puta.
last thing I heard was Garrett's voice. That's
não
not
é o
Billy.
And go on, how did it end?
And, boy, that was just the beginning.
So what happened? Did Garrett arrest you?
Yeah, after I came to, the bastard had clocked me with his Colt.
And the kid surrendered?
When he realized there was no getting out of there alive.
So they locked you up in Lincoln?
Indeed they did. Sentenced me to hang right along with the kid.
Punhado de chumbo quente. Prisão permanece até lá na primavera.
It's important to know that I was only riding with Billy so I could find the bastard I was after. He was with John Kinney's gang, and they were sworn enemies of Billy's regulators.
Why were you after him?
I owed that son of a bitch a bullet for what he had done to me and mine. Instead, all I got for myself was a goddamn death sentence. Luckily, it was right around then that I heard Billy make his move. He shot Jim Bell and a few other guards as he made his getaway. Later, they wrote that some lady friend planted a pistol for him in the privy. What the papers didn't say is that Billy helped me escape, too. My first order of business was finding a firearm. Luckily, I located Deputy Bob Ollinger's mean-ass shotgun.
Pode cortar o home em dois. Beleza.
I saw Billy through the window, and he yelled that I should take to the rooftops to make my escape. So I did.
Anybody see Billy? Oh, that son of a bitch shot Jim Bell!
The kid's escape raised a huge ruckus. Hell yeah. That scatter gun was like a double-barreled howitzer. It could blow a man clear off his feet. You hardly had to aim the damn thing. Guards were everywhere looking for it.
Anybody see him?
I had to jump from roof to roof like a damn alley cat. I followed the planks where I could, but some of that wood was slippery as hell. The whole town was up in arms. Suddenly, I was a fugitive.
Gary's gonna kick our ass! Can't have gotten far!
Tá muito longe, né?
Go to jail!
Violence is not the answer.
Tá, eu só queria saber se eu morria, beleza. Morro, não posso pular pelo telhado.
So that bastard you were after, what did he do?
He did me and my family a grievous harm. But I knew if I was ever gonna find him, I would need to get my ever-loving ass out of there. I tried to be stealthy and sneak my way past.
This town doesn't have a moment's peace.
Where'd he get you? You!
But hell, if they weren't all waiting for me. Apparently, some of them thought I was Billy.
You hooligans can go to hell.
He's in town somewhere.
See, me and the kid shared a certain similarity in build and coloring. I was just glad I had Deputy Bob's mean-ass shotgun.
Put down your weapon!
Quem falou isso?
Give it up! I don't get paid enough for this!
Cara, viu lá de cima uma parada brilhando em algum lugar.
I got this! Get your headstone!
So much lead was whizzing by my head, it was like everyone in Lincoln wanted to put me in the ground. I knew I needed to find a horse. Though I never did have a great fondness for those four-legged grass eaters. sweaty, ungrateful beasts. We prize them too high, if you ask me.
You can't hide forever! I'm here! Surrender yourself!
You're threatening the lives of innocent people.
Damn town's going to hell in a handbasket!
Pra ter certeza que não tem nada ali mesmo, vambora.
But where was the kid while you were busy getting shot at?
Gone. And that's when it occurred to me why Billy set me free.
Nossa, vem na cara.
So I could be a hapless decoy and draw attention while he snuck out of town.
Nossa, um monte de coisa.
I knew if I made it out of there in one piece, no one would put a price on my head.
Because everybody in Lincoln would be dead?
No, because they all thought I was Billy, and all that blame would fall on him. Meanwhile, Deputy
E aí,
Bob
Dr.
Ollinger
Vandy,
was
beleza?
organizing a posse to put me down. He was already a mean son of a bitch, but he was doubly pissed that I stole his
Só de
mean-ass
boa,
shotgun.
Vandy. Tá em casa hoje, não tá cozinhando nada.
It was me or them. The only way forward led me straight to perdition. But the cards were dealt, and I had no choice but to
Tá
play
atirando em
them.
mim, mano. Nossa. Tem que matar todo mundo pelo
We're gonna
caminho
be in
aqui.
deep shit when Jack gets back!
Se eu fosse... Se eu mirasse direito... E aí, Dr. Vandy? O que o senhor manda? Ué, o bicho tá tirando na cara.
Arm yourself! I'm here! How the hell did he get away?
Nossa, velho. Ih, tô sem munição aqui.
Put down your weapon!
Calma aí, deixa eu ter mais munição aqui.
Time to die!
Nossa, nem vi naquele tiro. Não, o bicho não morre não, velho. Meu Deus do céu.
You won't get away with this! Hey, I'll flank him! Kill him!
vê só o coquinho do cara. Tu viu ali? Só o coquinho dele. Eita porra.
Finally, I found what I was looking for. The stables on the edge of town.
Como assim, eu dei 2 tiros na cara do mesmo cara?
I guess Billy saved your ass, taking out Bob Ollinger the way he did.
Billy didn't kill Bob.
Não matou
Sure
o
he
Bob.
did. Dispatched him right after he shot Deputy Bell.
No, sir. Because Bob came right up behind me, angry as hell that Billy had lit out.
E aí, doutor
Hello,
Fábio
Bob.
Vandi.
I
Opa!
said,
Vai rolar
I
um
think
duelinho
you
aqui
better
agora,
let
hein,
me
Vandi?
go. And he
Será que eu vou
says,
conseguir de primeira?
I don't think so, boy. Not with my shotgun. So we stood there in the middle of the street, eyeball to eyeball. He intended to kill me, and I knew I had no choice but to defend myself.
Nossa, tomei, velho. Ah, esse cara mexe demais, mano. E o mouse fica ruim de mexer, mano. Fica tipo um delayzinho, tá ligado? Esse delayzinho desgraça essa mira. Vamos lá, vamos lá. Vamos lá que a gente vai conseguir passar. Aí deu conseguido 90% ali, velho. Tá, vamos focar em conseguir os 90%. Primeiro. Cara, eu reagi rápido, mano. Aí deu pra sacar mais
He
depressa.
intended to kill me, and I knew I had no choice but to defend myself.
Como assim, mano? Ai, ai, muito rápido, mano. Eu não consigo manter a mira, cara. Parece que os caras dificultam a mira. Cara, meu mouse nem tá nem se mexendo, mano. Calma aí. Calma, uma hora eu vou passar, Vandi. Você tem que ter fé. Tem que ter fé que eu consigo passar aqui. Vamos lá. Tá difícil, mas eu vou conseguir passar. Ai. Já passei de uma, mas tá difícil. É, mas ele tem esse esquema que você tem que ficar mirando, acompanhando o bicho, só que, velho, é muito ruim, tá ligado? Tipo, eu não consigo acompanhar normal, sacou? Tipo, rola um delay, tá ligado? E agora eles adicionaram o negócio de tem que mexer a mão também, velho. Aí ficou mais difícil ainda. Ah, não, mentira, mano. O meu bicho, velho, 94%, 20% do meu tempo de não, velho. Eu vou puxar essa parada, não que der o som do coração, eu vou puxar a parada e vou matar ele desonrosamente mais um.
Some say I fought unfairly.
Foi desonrado, mas fui. Mano, muito ruim. O negócio fica, tipo, variando pro lado, tá ligado? E você ainda tem que mexer no A e no D. Fica muito tenso, velho. Ah, mas eu gostei, tipo, uma historinha, né?
So where'd you go after Lincoln?
Não sei o que tem que fazer depois, vamos ver.
Until I realized nobody was looking for me. I ended up taking a job at the Rurales.
The Mexican Rurales?
I was hired to help them track down the cowboys.
The most vicious outlaw gang in Cochise County? Curly Bill Brocious? Johnny Ringo?
Led by old man Clanton himself.
They must have paid you a pretty penny to take them hombres on.
Not really. But truth be told, I had my own reasons for going after those boys.
So was the bastard you were after now riding with the cowboys?
Roscoe Bob Bryant was his name.
Oh.
But no, this time it was a different bastard I was after. The aforementioned Mr. Ringo. And yes, he was working for old man Clown. I came upon them robbing a stagecoach, which wasn't surprising, being they were such murderous thieves and bastards. The bandits wore red scarves, so I knew they worked for the old man.
Over there!
I did my best to help those poor passengers. Moments later, the attackers were dead. And I checked the stagecoach to see how many passengers were still breathing.
Né, velho? 4 tiros, 4 mortos.
It was then I wondered if the rocks weren't hiding more bandits. Was that all of them? Or did I just hit the rear guard?
É, esse jogo aqui, ô Vandi, é o Call of Juarez. É o Call of Juarez.
They were appearing great numbers from above and rained down lead on their hapless enemies' heads, making use of the high ground and whatever else they had. Yep, the Apaches always appeared out of nowhere, and there never seemed to be an end to them.
Hold on. You were attacked by Apaches? What happened to the cowboys?
Vou morrer
Did I
agora.
say they were Apaches? I said Clanton's cowboys attacked me Apache style. I was in a pitched battle, but I was holding my own against an overwhelming enemy force. See, at the time, I was still pretty green and would often blunder into regrettable situations. But I just kept shooting at anything I could see up in those damn rocks. I didn't see Ringo, but I knew he was with the cowboys. He and Roscoe Bob had done me a dreadful wrong, and I was determined to have my revenge. But to get to Ringo, I knew I'd have to find my way past these other assholes first. Unfortunately, I was running out of ammo. Another perfect example of my relative inexperience as a hunter of men. I immediately knew that a tactical retreat was called for, as my vengeful fury was much less impressive without the bullets to back it up.
Mano, tô tomando dos dois lados, velho. Não tem como não, mano. O bicho mandou eu. Ele falou pra mim sair, mas e aí? Vou sair pra onde? Não tem pra onde correr, essa caceta. Vamos tentar de novo.
Finally, they managed to corner me. Trapped as I was, the odds of my survival seemed pretty slim.
Mano, não tem como fugir não, mano. Caraca. Nossa, tomei na cara. O nome Rogerinho é emboscado. Mano, pra onde que eu tenho que ir nessa parada? Né? Eu tenho que ir pra algum lugar, mano. Eu tô morrendo à toa aqui. Ah, meu Deus do céu. Eu tenho que ir pra algum lugar, não é possível, mano.
Luckily, serendipity was on my side as I suddenly spotted a way out of my predicament.
Cara, a pedra se mexeu, maluco. Tu viu isso? Tu viu a pedra se mexendo? Que viagem, mano. Ele vai contando a história pra ela vai mudando, mano.
I ran ahead as if the devil himself was after me. Bullets were whizzing by my ears, but I wasn't about to roll over and die.
Zigue-zague,
I
zigue-zague,
just kept
zigue-zague,
running like there
zigue-zague.
was no tomorrow. Because there wouldn't be if Clanton and his men caught up with me. As I was scurrying around those caves, I thought, what was I thinking? Going up against a gang like this. They were hunting me like I was a game. And I swear to God, that's how I felt.
Tô correndo, mano.
I just kept running, not knowing where the hell I was going.
Mano. Eu caí no negócio, velho. E morri, mano. Não fica isso não.
Nowhere to run.
Tô correndo, mano. Tô correndo.
No one will ever fight you here.
And that's when something miraculous happened.
Que isso,
Like
velho?
manna from heaven, I found the desiccated remains of what looked like an Apache warrior. The old weapon next to him supplied me with some much-needed ammunition. Bat Masterson once told me it was more important to be lucky than good, and he would know.
Aham. Por ser bom do que ser sortudo. Sortudo é muita sorte pra mim.
And imagine my surprise when I found a fistful of dynamite to go along with that ammo. That stroke of good fortune evened the odds and bolstered my confidence. It was time to turn the tables. Time for the prey to become the predator. Time for the hunted to become the hunter. Time.
All right, Jesus, we get it. They were right where you wanted them.
That's right, Jack. I was done running. The old man's boys were not expecting that. No, sir. I came at them like a wildcat. My fury knew no bounds.
Shoot that running son of a bitch!
A gente tomou na cabeça que nem viu. Ai, meu. Outra vida, velho.
It was finally time for that old man to pay for his sins.
Cara, tá em cima de uma Gatling Gun, velho. Tá de zoeira. Velho Clanton.
I yelled out at the top of my lungs, Clanton, I'm coming for you! A little stealth might have made more sense, to be perfectly honest. Because that old fool had a Gatling gun and enough bullets to last him till Kingdom Come. But I knew I could not let that deter me. Not if I was to find and kill Ringo.
Pô, eu tô atirando direto na cabeça
I
dos
needed to
bichos aí.
get that old man off that gun.
A gente tá comendo a rocha, mano. A gente tá comendo a rocha com a arma aqui, velho. Eu acho que já dá pra matar ele daqui. Nossa, ele tá muito longe. Não dá não. Ah, mano. É, não, nessa época a arma era maluco. Essa arma era do capeta, velho. Se tinha alguma dessa, ele te matava o exército inteiro sozinho, mano. Deixa eu só olhar quais são as pedras que eu posso correr. Talvez é melhor vir pro outro caminho. Que isso, cara? Atirei, tio, atirei. Ah, mas... tá comendo os cactos, mano. Me ajuda aí, velho. Tá comendo os cactos, mano. Deixa ele recarregar. Cara, que bicho causeiro, ele falou que ia recarregar e não recarregou. Então, eu... Nossa, tem como não, mano.
Most everyone thought it was the Ruales who had come up against him in Guadalupe Canyon, but it was just me.
Nossa, tá com granada. Pô, eu joguei dinamite, mas não adianta muito não. Deixa ele parar de atirar aqui, eu vou tentar correr aqui. Nossa, mano, olha onde é que o bicho tava, velho. Pô, eu não... eu não sabia que o bicho tinha visão ali, mano. Achei que ele não tivesse. Eu vou começar lá embaixo, quer postar quanto? Ah, não, já comecei na pedra, beleza, beleza. Nossa. Vou ficar perto da pedra aqui, mano. Se você ficar levantado demais, toma aqui. Velho safado, mano, quase não diminuiu lá. Ah, calma aí que aqui tem granada. Agora sim, vamos derrubar esse velho safado.
Apparently, one of the cowboys made it out of there alive and told Ike and Billy Clanton that it wasn't a Mexican who took their father's life that day. They just assumed it was one of the Earps, and that little misunderstanding eventually led to that legendary gunfight at the OK Corral.
Esse jogo que, pelo que eu tô vendo, esse bicho é bem linear, tá ligado? O bicho tem a história. É tipo um Half-Life, só que do Velho Oeste. Você tem que fazer as fases e pronto, tá ligado?
A few weeks after that dust-up at the OK Corral, I was still after Johnny Ringo. I had tracked him and the cowboys to their hideout at a sawmill, and they were loaded for bear.
So, what exactly did Johnny Ringo do to piss you off?
Well, him and that other bastard.
Roscoe Bob Bryant?
Yep. They both deserve to die, and I promise I'll tell you why. But first I need to tell you about the cowboy's new boss, Curly Bill Brocious.
É, ele faz. A parada é bem.
Herb's coming!
Get ready, boys. Curly Bill took charge of the cowboys upon the old man's demise. And after that gunfight at the OK Corral, the Clantons wanted revenge. So they murdered Morgan Earp and grievously wounded his older brother, Virgil.
Ah, eu passei de nível. Aquela hora de tentar botar o ponto e não consegui. Ó, minha arma ficou bonitinha, hein? Ai! Tá aqui um.
Wyatt and Doc went on what became known as the Vendetta Ride, hunting those outlaws down. So when I showed up, that's who they thought I was.
Cara, dei na cara dele, velho. Não morreu.
There were killers around every corner, all wearing red bandanas. That's how the cowboys identified each other. And I was beginning to wish I had one myself. But I wasn't about to let Ringo walk away unscathed. And that's what drove me forward.
They say that Ringo was infernally fast.
I hardly saw anyone faster, boy. Certainly not Wyatt Earp. That man was all hat and no cat.
Eita porra. Não, 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 não. Devolve meu revólver. Não, mano, que azar, mano.
Earp wasn't much of a match for him, but Doc Holliday might have taken him.
That lunger should have kept his nose out of it. They never charged anyone for the murder of Morgan Earp.
Ah, sim, a arma tem um buraco, sim, sim. Você pode... Opa.
But everybody knew that Curly shot him in the back. That was common knowledge.
Yeah, maybe so. But Ringo had nothing to do with it. He was just being loyal to a friend.
Is that what you call it? Being loyal. But to get to that loyal friend, I had to pass by some buzzsaws as big as a man.
Excuse me, sir. I have a question.
What's that, Dwight?
After old man Clanton died, why didn't his son take over the Cowboys?
Because Ike Clanton was dumber than a box of rocks and a yellow belly to boot. Now, where was I?
Taking down the entire cowboy gang single-handed.
Indeed I was, Jack.
Killing everybody!
Though it wasn't easy, as those boys had good cover.
Nossa. Cara, aqui tá de boa, ô Vandi. Tá tudo verde pra mim aqui. No princípio deve ser aí, mano. Aqui tá tudo verde pra mim, Vandi.
There were carts everywhere, piles of lumber, and God knows what else for people to hide behind. That really was one hell of a sawmill. Quite an impressive operation.
And where was Curly Bill? Did you see him?
I'm about to get to that, Ben. Patience. I'm painting a picture here. There was this beautiful waterfall and a crystal clear stream that led to a verdant valley that was truly...
Consider your picture painted. What happened next?
Well, finally the bastards that were still alive made a last stand.
Beleza. O herói, pelo visto, não sabe nadar, então vamos evitar morrer na água, né? É, aqui tá de boa, Vandi. Tudo que eu vi aqui tá tudo verde, velho. Tá de boaça. Bem feito, hein? Joguinho bem feito. Pelo menos é bonitinho.
Curly Bill, Johnny Ringo, and his compadres took off into the lumber yard, and I followed after.
Curly Bill.
Are you saying they ran? Cowardice was not in Ringo nor Curly Bill's nature.
No, sir. I never said they were running scared. They just wanted me out in the open.
Time to dance with the devil. You working for Wyatt Earp? Is that some bitch Earp send you to kill me? You're dead. Make him pay for that.
Mano, eu mandei muita bala no cara, velho. Ah, nossa, velho. Me deu um tiro e quase me matou, mano. Matei.
Brocious gave me no choice but to take his life. But Ringo was nowhere to be found.
I knew you didn't kill Ringo, because he was found dead in a different location altogether.
To this day, his killer is still unknown.
Indeed. Took me a few months before I finally tracked his ass to West Turkey Creek Canyon.
Johnny Ringo.
That's incredible, sir. I always thought that Doc Holliday was the one that killed him.
Ele me matou ainda, velho. Ele me matou, velho. Como é que pode, velho? Eu consegui errar o negócio porque eu não tinha foco o suficiente, mano. Parabéns pra mim, velho. Vamos lá.
That's incredible, sir. I always thought that Doc Holliday was the one that killed him.
Sorry I had to ruin the legend for you, boy.
Honroso, velho. Foi menos de 0.3, tenho certeza, velho. Fica olhando, vamos ver se eu dei tiro no cara.
Doc Holliday had nothing to do with the death of Johnny Ringo.
0.8? Caraca. Tá bom, tá bom, tá bom, tá bom.
I was paid a healthy bounty for Ringo and Curly Bill, and realized there was real money to be made. That's why I went after Henry Plummer.
Now, wasn't he the sheriff who augmented his income by shaking down miners and robbing gold shipments?
That's the one.
Oh, yeah, I remember
Acho que você vai
him.
pegando a
He
manha com
ran
o
that
tempo,
gang of
Vandir. Vai
thieving
ficar mais
outlaws
fácil.
called the Innocents.
Morri
So
um e
it's
ganhei
true
outro.
that you went toe-to-toe with him?
Indeed I did, son. Indeed I did. I knew I needed resources if I was going to track down Roscoe Bob Bryant. And hunting Plumber looked like a good way to get rich quick.
Ah, eu passei de nível também, deixa eu dar uma olhada aqui.
As the local vigilantes exposed him as the leader of the bandits and put a generous price on his head. Plummer rallied his gang to plunder one last gold mine before making their escape. And that's where I thought I'd find him.
It makes me nervous standing so close to all these goddamn barrels of gunpowder.
Why would you be nervous? No one has the cojones to come after us. As long as you don't light up a cigar, we're fine.
Besides, George is up there on the rocks with that rifle of his. Nothing gets past him.
As my late father pointed out to me more than once, God made men. Samuel Colt made them equal.
Caraca, nasci aqui na cabeça, hein? Arminha, se eu quiser trocar. É, só passei por baixo da terra.
I knew that dynamite wasn't mine, so I decided the polite thing would be to return it. It was the biggest gold rush since Sutter's Mill in '48. Unfortunately, prospectors weren't the only ones drawn to those riches.
Rapidão, galera, vou pausar aqui rapidão. Só coloca minha esposa aqui. Já voltei rapidão. Rolou o aniversário da minha esposa ali. Aí as mulheres estavam fazendo... Só mulher, só. Fazendo festa.
You're done.
There were thieves and killers, robbing travelers and hijacking gold shipments. Like those that ran with Plummer. Some were just regular folks I knew from town, drawn by greed and easy pickings. Charlie Crow, the blacksmith. James, who worked in the stable. Sam and Jeremiah Barber, the butcher's son. Of course, the rest were veterans of the Civil War. Stone-cold killers trained on the bloody fields of Shiloh and Antietam. Plummer had a lot of men on his payroll. A hell of a lot. That son of a bitch pretended to protect the public with one hand while stealing them blind with the other. He set up a defensive perimeter which I had no idea how to breach. Dangerous, desperate individual. I was outnumbered and in way over my head, but I was too damn stubborn.
Eita! Travou meu... Caraca, fechou meu jogo, mano. Fechou o jogo, maluco. Tô abrindo de novo aqui, calma aí. Na real, o aniversário dela é no domingo só, Vandi. Mas eu dei pra ela um óculos de sol de presente. Sacou?
Of course, the rest were veterans of the Civil War. Stone-cold killers trained on the bloody fields of Shiloh and Antietam. Plummer had a lot of men on his payroll. A hell of a lot. That son of a bitch pretended to protect the public with one hand while stealing them blind with the other. He set up a defensive perimeter which I had no idea how to breach. Dangerous, desperate individuals. I was outnumbered and in way over my head, but I was too damn stubborn and stupid to realize it. They must have thought I was tough, or had some kind of death wish, seeing as there were barrels of gunpowder everywhere. I thought I was some kind of hero. I finally made it past and headed on to meet my destiny.
Terminar essa fase aqui, eu vou parar, Vandi.
But first, I had something I needed to figure out. I had a few ideas on how to get into that mine. But once I made my decision, I knew there was no turning back. So my first thought was to enter the nearest mine portal. I saw an entrance. Made sense. It was the quickest way in, but that also made it more dangerous, as there would undoubtedly be enemy pickets posted along the way. Besides, once you enter a mine like that, it's easy to get all turned around. And that confusing maze of corridors wouldn't even be the worst of it. Some of those shafts could be as deep as hell.
It's you or...
A single stumble or misstep can easily end in a deadly plunge to oblivion.
Time to blow your shit up. Come on out, you yellow bastard.
Quick reflexes often make up for a lack of common sense. Luckily, I was never one to be easily bushwhacked.
Tomei literalmente uma carrinhada na cara.
I would just need to be careful not to blow myself to Kingdom Come. With all that gunpowder and dynamite everywhere, a body has to know what to shoot.
Nossa, errei,
All it
velho.
takes is one tiny spark, and boom.
Eu errei o tiro, maluco. Eu dei um tiro.
One wrong bullet could have turned that mine into a dad-blasted tube.
Nossa.
I freely admit that my plan of attack was not just moronic, but clearly insane.
Nossa. Que doideira, hein? Ah!
It's a good thing that I abandoned that ridiculous
lá.
plan before I even tried it. Instead, I spotted a ladder, a way into the mine from the opposite side. There was a long way around, but that approach seemed more sensible at the time. Of course, being I had a problem with heights, that scaffolding scared the bejesus out of me. Climbing down that ladder required some caution. Because even though I had a younger man's reflexes, no man can dodge a damn bullet while climbing down a rickety ladder. I was determined not to give up, however. That Sheriff Plummer seemed quite the despicable character. When the vigilantes discovered what the sheriff was up to, people were outraged. That 10,000 they put on his head would go a long way to helping me find old Bob. And I had made it my mission to settle that score come hell or high water.
Cara, mas esse cara só atira rápido demais, moço.
But first, I would have to make a choice. Take the elevator or climb the ladder.
Subir a escada, né? Ah, eu passei de nível, show.
I wanted to use the element of surprise. Plus, I figured I could use the exercise. I was warmed up already, so what the hell?
Me respeita, rapaz. Não me deu tiro ainda.
Plummer was a mad dog killer.
Nossa.
And the people of Nevada City deserve better.
Nevada City? I thought Plummer met his maker in Bannock, Montana.
Nossa. Brotou brother aqui,
He was the
mano.
sheriff of both places at one time or another, but that's neither here nor there. The point was, taking him down would save a lot of lives, including my own.
They're gonna need a dustpan to pick you up! This day is just getting worse and worse for you, ain't it?
Henry Plummer was clearly unhinged, and I could see right away that this was gonna take some doing.
You ain't taking me! Keep pushing me on! See what it gets you! Bastard! No good money for you today!
Morri.
They're gonna bury you in a million pieces! I've got a lot more dynamite than you! You can shoot, but can you aim? What do you think you're doing? I need some help here! Come on, boys! Take this cocksucker out! Rule the day! Time to fill you full of lead! This is gonna hurt! I can shoot too! That had a swap! No blood money for you today! You can shoot, but can you aim? Catch this, you son of a bitch! Nice shot! Can't do it again! Bastard! Get out here! You ain't taking me! Why don't you just join the circus?
Ah. Caraca, velho. Rapidão, galera. Que o mouse tava preso ali em cima. Pronto, eu tô voltando pro jogo. Vamos, continuar. É, agora estamos na metade da vida dos bichos, né? Ah, ainda pode de matar os caras e derrubar as dinamite no ar, senão não vai dar não. Dá prioridade pra... Pois, tá foda, velho. O que tá me matando é a dinamite, velho. Mentira, mano.
You ain't beefing me.
Eu tô jogando. Eu tô transmitindo. Agora eu não posso. É tenso, mano. Tem hora que você não consegue acertar o cara, velho. Tu vira na cabeça do cara e o cara não toma tiro, mano. Vou encerrar a live, galera. Valeu, Vandi aí por ter aparecido. Dá no joinha, valeu essa outra pessoa que tá assistindo aí, muito obrigado. Mas eu vou dar aquela encerrada marota. Deu quase 2 horas de live. Depois eu continuo jogando aqui, aí eu faço mais live pro resto da história. Valeu aí, galerinha. Falou!